Hello, it's been quite a week this week, and I felt to put this into some form of perspective because it may well help you if you are on your own in your business, wondering what is going on? Am I even meant to have this business? What is it doing for me? What am I doing for it? Because I've had quite a week. I'll explain a little bit, some context for you. I've been self-employed now for probably nearly 30 years, as long as that. And over those 3 decades, it's been quite a journey. To coin a popular phrase, I had a corporate career before. At times I've gone into employment. I've been into retail employment. I've worked in a hospice. I've done all sorts of things, worked for other people. And it's the one thing that I've really realized, which really strongly came in this week, was that our businesses evolve, and they really do. If you are heart-centered and you have a message to share with the world, whether it's through a product or through a service, businesses evolve. They grow and they evolve, and they also have seasons. That's why I'm so passionate that we work with the seasons and the rhythm of the year as well as the rhythm of the planetary energies, because our businesses are living, growing, evolving energies. My business has grown this week wonderfully. I attended a business conference this week in a new city where I've only moved fairly close to a few months ago. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful having those face-to-face conversations. It was wonderful sitting there and watching presenters presenting things live. And there was a difference in the energy to when we're online. However, I've also been online this week because a lot of my business is online and spoken to people all over the world. And that also is amazing and magical. And then there's also been the parts of the business where maybe somebody hasn't responded in quite the way that I thought they would respond. And that's completely fine because we're all unique beings. And we have that when we're in business for our own. We are mostly doing it all. And so there will be connections which magically form and are aligned, are just totally amazing. But then you'll also come across the odd connection which doesn't feel quite right. And that also is a key and something to be celebrated. Because that's when we really start to define even more what our business is and what it means to us and how we show up to it. And showing up to our business, in our business, for our business, as our business, all of that is our energy, our energetic footprint, if you like. And that's where our passion is. And that's where we evolve. Our businesses evolve, we grow. It's been a very strange week. I was in a cafe and I ordered a panini and chips. What arrived was a toasted baguette and chips. And so the person putting it onto my table said, "Here's your panini and chips." And I said, "Actually, that's a baguette and chips. There is a difference." There's a difference in how they taste and how they look. And he said, "No, no, no, that's a panini." I said, Actually, it's not. It's a baguette. However, I was not going to get anywhere with him. So he went. I enjoyed the baguette. It was perfectly fine. The chips were lovely. There was no point in me labouring on about it. You know, that sort of conversation belongs in the life too short pile because he was convinced it was panini. I knew it wasn't, but life's too short. And then I got to thinking, now, what does that actually mean? Life's too short. Because we don't know how long or short or how many moments or anything like that. But rather than it being life's too short, it's more that I really don't want to put the energy into fighting that because that's not worthwhile putting energy in to. What is worth putting energy in is offering to you the thought in your business when you sit down and you have your ever-growing list of tasks to do take one or two off the list. Do look at them and think, right, is that really going to benefit my business? Because your energy is so important. Our energy when we turn up for our businesses is so important. It's how we show up. And so therefore, if anything's a bit leaky, if anything doesn't feel quite right, if you think to yourself, well, so and so has said, I've got to do this if I want to have a successful business, really? The one thing I've really discovered is actually when I go with my inner sense of this is what we do next, when I tune into the planetary energies, planets of the day, the rhythm of the seasons, when I think about whether my business is in a growth phase, if it needs to just rest a bit while it's still earning money, still there, but before I give it an extra oomph of growth, there'll be a little bit of a plateau. That's all fine. That's all nature. Nature is extraordinary in how she continues to evolve our planet for us. So, one thing to do, look at your to-do list, take 2 items off it, put them down for next month, and then you can reassess again next month. But know that if you are here, if you are watching this, if you have your business and it is up and running and it may not have been going for as long as mine, that's fine. If it's been going for 2 days, wonderful. You are amazing and magical, and you are sending your vibration out into the world that you have a passion that you want to change something for one other person, and then another, and then another, and then another. As always, with so much love from Alison, and thank you for watching.